Hi everyone! My name is Maggie Keenan-Bolger, and I am so excited to be participating in the video response for Broadway for Obama, which my brother and sister started. I'm very proud of them. I am going to tell you a little bit about why I'm going to be voting for Obama in the next election, and why I'm going to be dragging all of the people that I know to the polls to make sure that they are voting as well. I guess the most important thing is that I'm a queer woman from inner city Detroit, and all of those factors play into how I see the world and to how I'm treated in the world. And ultimately, the Republicans' stance on things like gay rights and women's reproductive health and things like that, and the economy and distribution of wealth, really work against who I am, in the sense that they're essentially attempting to keep me as a second-class citizen, both as a woman and as a gay person in this country, and by not giving me the rights over my own body, and by not giving me the rights that every other person in this country has to adopt and to marry and to do all of those things that ultimately I don't even really want to do, but the fact that I can't do them is pretty absurd. I also I think probably my main platform is usually gay rights, and by gay rights I mean LGBTQIA, insert acronym here, rights. And Obama, while he's been in office, has done some pretty amazing things for LGBT people, and I think that ultimately he can do so much more. And I really think and hope that in his second term, when he is not having to worry about getting reelected and things like that, that some really major progress can be made in pushing forward the full, acceptance of LGBT people, and if not acceptance, at least legal acceptance. I really think that we're on the right side of history for this, and that in 20, 50 years we're going to look back and everyone's going to think of how ridiculous it was that LGBT people were not allotted the same rights as heterosexual people. And I think that Obama recognizes that, and that he's slowly but surely working to make that a reality. I also, on the same subject matter, work at an organization called Green Chimneys, which provides housing and resources for LGBT homeless youth and youth who are in foster care. And I've seen firsthand the negative impact that hate can have on our young people. These are young people, most of whom have been kicked out of their houses because their sexual orientation was disclosed or revealed in some way. And their parents, who believe a lot of, the things that Mitt Romney is saying about, gay people, they love to preach the hate the sin, not the sinner sort of thing. But ultimately, if you're telling a kid that they don't have the same rights as their friend because of who they are, that's hate. You're not loving that person, regardless of how you vote, because these are kids whose parents have sort of absorbed these messages about hating LGBT people and about the lack of validity in the LGBT identity, and the fact that they think that gayness is something that can be rectified. Which it isn't, by the way. And so these young people are sort of a product of the sort of LGBT hate that the Republican Party is spewing. And that if they get if Romney is elected, that no doubt he will continue to enforce. And it's an issue that's really close to my heart, because I watch these young people who have done absolutely nothing wrong who have just tried to live their lives in the way that they know how, and in a way that makes them happy, and in a way that makes them feel like they can be who they are, and they've been rejected in the worst way possible because of it. On another sort of issue is I am what you might call sporadically insured, and I'm talking about health insurance, where a lot of the work that I do is freelance work, and I'd say the majority of it, in fact, does not come with health insurance. This means that I have to pay incredibly high monthly fees in order to have health insurance or go without. I've been very lucky, knock on wood, in my life that I haven't had any huge medical disasters happen, because the reality is I am uninsured the majority of the time. And having something like Obamacare would allow me so much more freedom, financially and time-wise, to be able to live my life and to do good in the world. I mean, a lot of the work that I do is based around trying to help other people who are not as lucky as I am. And if I was able to not have to worry about healthcare and about how I was going to pay the next, installment of my extremely expensive monthly fee for healthcare, it would make a huge difference in the impact that I could have in the world. Sort of the final thing that I'm gonna talk about is sex education. I currently have a job where I get to travel around the country and teach about sex and sexuality in colleges. And the number of people who think that there is something wrong with them because they haven't been properly educated all over the country is huge. And I'm talking about people who think that, that they're broken because they can't have orgasms, or because, someone told them that, or someone never told them what they need to know about sex and sexuality. It's such a complicated issue. It's such a complicated thing, and it's a part of pretty much everyone's life. And as if abstinence-only education exists, then we don't get the really important stuff that we need to know when we start to be sexually active. And if this is when you're married, that's awesome, but the reality is most people aren't waiting until they're married. And so getting that information at a young age is crucial to a sense of well-being, and to a knowledge of one's body, and to being able to recognize, what you want and what you need, and how to stay safe and how to be confident in your sex and sexuality, so that you can do all those things that they do teach in abstinence education about how to say no to sex, and about, how to wait till you have the right person, which I think, is really important in some ways, but at the same time is something that's really hard to do if you aren't sexually confident, which I think comes from information and comes from knowledge about your body and about your sex and sexuality that is really crucial for our existence in the world, and something that Romney is not behind, and something that Obama is. So yeah, I could literally, this is already a long video, I could go on for days about the different reasons why I'm planning on voting for Obama, and why I'm excited to vote for Obama. That said, I'm really glad to be a part of this, this movement here, and I'm really excited about my siblings starting it up, and because I can, I'm going to show you now, as a final teaser, just a little picture of Andrew and I slow dancing when we were little at a wedding. Look at those cute little faces. How are you gonna say no to giving rights to these cute little faces? I mean, really. Also, that's probably the last time I ever wore that dress in my life. I can't imagine what my mom had to go through to put me in that. Alright, thanks so much, everyone. I can't wait to see everyone else's videos. Have fun and vote for Obama! Yay!